After 65, staying healthy isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It's about building the right daily habits. Here's a surprising truth. Many seniors keep doing the same routines they follow for decades, but the body after 65 doesn't respond the same way. Some habits that once felt harmless may now quietly drain energy, disturb sleep, or even affect memory. The good news is small changes make a big difference. In this video, we'll count down 3 simple habits you can add today to feel stronger, sleep better, and protect your brain. And at the end, I'll reveal one habit millions of older adults still do every day that doctors now warn should be stopped immediately. Quick question. Do you believe habits matter more than diet alone after 65? Type yes or no in the comments. I'd love to hear your view. Think for a moment. Does this sound familiar to your daily routine? Once you reach 65, your body is still capable and resilient, but it no longer runs on the same settings as before. Muscles shrink faster, a process called sarcopenia. Memory can feel less sharp because blood flow to the brain isn't as strong, and your blood vessels stiffen, making the heart work harder. Think of it like a classic car. A car that's been on the road for 40 years can still run beautifully, but it needs better fuel, regular tune-ups, and more careful handling. If you treat it the same way you did decades ago, wear and tear shows up quickly. The same is true for your health. After 65, your body whispers first. Weaker grip strength, slower walking, restless sleep. If nothing changes, those whispers may turn into louder warnings, like falls, chronic fatigue, or memory slips. This is why habits matter. Supplements and pills can help, but they can't replace daily actions. Movement, sunlight, and connection with others all act like fuel upgrades that keep your classic engine running smoother. And here's the key. It's not only about adding the right habits. It's also about knowing which old ones to let go. Pause for a moment and think, have you noticed these small whispers in your own body? So before we start counting down the 3 habits to add, let's first look at some common mistakes many seniors make without realizing it. When it comes to staying healthy after 65, many people focus on the wrong things or overlook small choices that quietly add up. The first mistake is believing that rest is best. After years of working hard, it feels natural to sit more, but long hours in a chair accelerate muscle loss and make joints stiffer. Movement is not the enemy. It's the medicine your body now needs. The second mistake is relying only on pills and supplements. Vitamins can be helpful, but they don't replace habits like walking, stretching, or good sleep routines. A bottle of tablets can't rebuild muscle or improve balance the way daily activity does. The third mistake is holding on to old routines without questioning them. Maybe it's late-night meals, an extra cup of coffee after dinner, or skipping breakfast. These patterns might have felt harmless at 40, but after 65, they can disturb sleep, raise blood pressure, or make mornings harder. Here's a quick self-check. Do you sometimes feel weaker or more forgetful even though you take all the right pills? Do you wake up tired even after a full night in bed? If yes, one of these habits may be working against you. And here's a short quiz. Which do you think has the biggest long-term effect? Sitting too much, eating late at night, or relying only on pills? Drop your guess in the comments, and we'll see how close you are when we reach the countdown. The good news is these mistakes are fixable. And once you know what to change, you can build stronger habits that make every day feel lighter. So now, let's count down the 3 habits worth adding after 65 and reveal one old habit it's time to stop. Let's start our countdown with a habit that may not surprise you, but is often overlooked: daily strength movement. After 65, muscle naturally shrinks faster, a process called sarcopenia. Without action, this loss of muscle leads to weaker balance, slower walking, and a higher risk of falls. It also slows metabolism, making it easier to gain weight even if your diet hasn't changed. Science backs this up. A 2021 review in the Journal of Gerontology found that older adults who added just 15 minutes of resistance exercise 3 times per week improved strength and balance significantly. Another 2023 trial tested simple resistance bands at home. After 8 weeks, participants over 70 reduced their fall risk scores by nearly 25%. Quick self-check. Do you notice it's harder to stand up from a chair without using your hands? Do stairs feel more tiring than they used to? If yes, it may be a sign your muscles need more daily attention. Take a second to picture your morning. Does this sound like what you do most days? Here's a simple swap. Add at least 10 to 15 minutes of strength movement each day. That could mean using a resistance band, doing light weight lifts, or even just chair squats in your living room. And here's a backup option. If weights or bands aren't available, use your own body weight. Push-ups against the wall, sit-to-stand exercises, or holding a soup can in each hand can work just as well. Take Joan, age 69. She used to skip exercise, thinking walking alone was enough. But after adding 15 minutes of band training every other day, her balance improved and she stopped needing her cane indoors. On the other hand, Walter, 72, avoided exercise altogether. Within a few years, he struggled to climb stairs and suffered a serious fall that landed him in the hospital. And here's the emotional truth. It's not about chasing big muscles. It's about keeping the freedom to move, to stay independent, and to live without fear of falling. So here's your action step for tonight. Stand up from your chair and try 3 sit-to-stand moves without using your arms. If that feels easy, add 5 more. Aim for at least 10 repetitions and repeat tomorrow. Over time, you'll notice your strength returning, one small step at a time. Now, let's move on to the second habit, one that has less to do with muscle and more to do with sleep, mood, and energy. The second habit may surprise you because it isn't about food or supplements. It's about light. Both morning sunlight and an evening wind-down routine can transform sleep, mood, and daily energy after 65. As we age, the body's internal clock, called circadian rhythm, becomes less steady. That's why many seniors find themselves waking up at 3 a.m. or feeling tired in the middle of the day. Without strong daily signals, the brain struggles to release melatonin at the right time. Science confirms this. A 2022 sleep study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that adults over 65 who received at least 15 minutes of morning sunlight had significantly better sleep efficiency and mood compared to those who stayed indoors. Another 2024 pilot trial tested evening wind-down routines, like dimming lights and turning off screens 1 hour before bed. Participants fell asleep 22% faster and reported fewer nighttime awakenings. Quick self-check. Do you often feel groggy in the morning, or do you lie awake at night even when you're tired? If yes, your circadian rhythm may be out of sync. Here's the habit to add. Spend at least 10 to 15 minutes outdoors in the morning sun, ideally before 9 a.m. Pair it with gentle movement, like walking to boost the effect. In the evening, set a routine. Turn down the lights, avoid bright screens, and try calming activities like reading or soft music. And here's the backup option. If sunlight isn't possible due to weather or mobility, use a light therapy lamp for 20 minutes in the morning. At night, use warm, low-intensity bulbs instead of overhead lighting. Take Linda, 70. She struggled with restless sleep and daytime fatigue. After committing to morning walks and an evening wind-down ritual, she not only slept better, but also felt more energetic in the afternoons. On the other hand, Charles, 73, dismissed these ideas as too simple. He stayed indoors most mornings and watched TV until midnight. His sleep remained broken, and his memory lapses worsened over time. And here's the emotional truth. A body without rhythm feels like a life without flow. Restoring that rhythm is like giving your days back their natural balance. Your action step tonight. 1 hour before bed, dim the lights and put away the TV or phone. Instead, pick up a book or play calming music. Tomorrow morning, step outside for at least 10 minutes of sun before breakfast. You've now made it through 2 habits, movement and rhythm. And here's the progress marker. You're 2/3 of the way through the countdown. Only 1 habit remains, and it may be the most powerful of all. Maybe you thought habits after 65 don't matter much anymore. But as you can see, even small daily rituals, like a walk in the sun or a light before bed, can reshape sleep, energy, and mood. That's your midpoint reframe, a reminder that habits don't just add years to life, they add life to years. Now let's move on to the number 1 habit, the one research shows protects both the heart and the brain. Finally, The number one habit to add after 65 is building a daily social connection ritual. Loneliness is more than an emotional feeling. It's a physical risk. Studies show isolation can raise blood pressure, increase inflammation, and even shrink brain volume over time. After 65, when many people retire, lose spouses, or live farther from family, this risk grows sharply. Science is clear. A 2023 meta-analysis in the Journal of Aging and Health reviewed data from over 30,000 adults. Seniors with strong daily social ties had a 30% lower risk of dementia and a 25% lower risk of premature death compared to those who were isolated. Another 2022 study in Circulation linked loneliness with higher heart disease rates, showing social health is heart health. Here's a quick self-check. Do you go through most days without a meaningful conversation? Do you sometimes feel invisible, even when surrounded by others? If yes, this is a signal your social health needs more care. The habit to add is simple. Create one daily connection ritual. It could be a 10-minute phone call with a friend, a daily walk with a neighbor, or a shared dinner with family. And here's the backup option. If distance or mobility makes this hard, join an online community for seniors. Even virtual conversations, when consistent, can lift mood and strengthen mental health. Let's look at two real stories. Anna, 71, felt lonely after her husband passed away. She committed to calling her sister every morning, even if only for 10 minutes. Within weeks, her mood brightened, her sleep improved, and she looked forward to mornings again. By contrast, George, 74, withdrew after retirement. He rarely reached out, convinced he didn't want to bother anyone. Over time, his isolation deepened. His doctor noticed higher blood pressure and early memory lapses, which may have been worsened by loneliness. And here's the emotional truth. People aren't meant to live in silence. A short daily connection can turn emptiness into energy and loneliness into laughter. Your action step tonight. Write down the name of one person you can connect with tomorrow. Schedule a 10-minute call or plan to share a meal. Start with just one ritual and repeat it every day this week. That completes the 3 habits to add after 65. Now, let's turn to a different side of the story. The quiet warning signs your body gives when habits are off track and the one daily habit you may need to stop right now. Before we reveal the one habit to stop, it's important to pause and notice the quiet signals your body may already be sending. The early whispers are subtle. You might feel more tired than usual after a normal day. You may notice extra gas, bloating, or a heavy fog in the head. Some seniors describe it as losing their spark, even though nothing dramatic seems wrong. Then there are the louder red flags. Chest pain, sudden dizziness, fainting, or sharp infusion are all warning signs that should never be ignored. These symptoms may point to something urgent, and they are a reason to seek medical help right away. Another area to watch is medication interactions. If you take blood pressure medicine, blood thinners, or sleep medication, even simple habits like late caffeine, missed exercise, or long naps can affect how the medicine works. Not everyone will notice this, but for older adults the risks are higher. Think of it this way. Your body always speaks. At first, it whispers. If nothing changes, it raises its voice. And if still ignored, it may shout with symptoms that stop you in your tracks. The good news is that you don't have to wait for the shouting. By acting on the whispers, you protect your energy, your memory, and your independence. Now that we've covered the warning signs, let's bring it back to daily life and see how these new habits, and the one to stop, fit into different lifestyles. Everyone's lifestyle looks a little different. That's why these habits aren't one size fits all. Let's see how they fit into everyday lives. First, the simple eater. This is a person who likes routines plain and easy. For them, adding habits means keeping it simple. 10 minutes of chair squats before breakfast, a short step outside for morning sun, and one daily phone call to a friend. Nothing fancy, but enough to keep the body strong and the heart connected. Next is the planner. This is a type who enjoys schedules, lists, and preparation. For them, success comes from structure. They map out 3 resistance sessions each week, mark 15-minute morning walk on a calendar, and set an evening reminder to dim the lights at 9 p.m. With these small rituals, every day feels organized and supported. Then we have the supplement user. They're careful with pills, vitamins, and doctor's orders. For them, the key is remembering that supplements are only part of the picture. Adding light exercise and consistent sleep makes their medications work more smoothly, while daily social time balances mental health. Even 5 minutes of stretching in one short call can turn pills into part of full routine, not the whole routine. Finally, there's the social cook. This is the person who loves sharing meals, whether with neighbors or family. For them, new habits blend into social life. Dinner becomes a chance to add a walk afterward, to turn off screens and talk, and keep caffeine away after 5 p.m. The laughter and the meal together are just as healing as the food itself. Which one sounds most like you? The simple eater, the planner, the supplement user, or the social cook? Comment below and share your answer. Let's take a moment to recap what we covered today. There are 3 habits worth adding after 65. First, daily strength movement. Just 10 to 15 minutes of resistance or bodyweight training to protect muscles and independence. Second, morning sunlight and an evening wind down, giving your body rhythm for better sleep and steady energy. Third, a daily social connection ritual. 1 call, 1 walk, or 1 shared meal to protect both your heart and your brain. And there's 1 habit to stop now: late caffeine after 5 p.m. For many seniors, that extra cup of coffee or tea in the evening doesn't just disturb sleep. A 2021 study in the journal Sleep Health found that consuming caffeine within 6 hours of bedtime reduced total sleep time by more than an hour for older adults. Research also shows it can raise blood pressure and interfere with heart rhythm, especially when combined with medications. Switching to herbal tea or water at night helps your body rest and recover. Here's the empowering truth: it's not too late. No matter your age, even small changes can restore energy, sharpen memory, and add comfort to daily life. If this video reminded you of someone, a spouse, a sibling, or a close friend, share it with them. A small nudge might be the reason they build healthier habits too. And before we finish, here's what's coming next. In the following video, I'll reveal 3 bedtime foods that protect your brain and help you fall asleep faster. Don't miss it. Congratulations, you've now completed the full countdown. Before we close, remember this video is for educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. The habits we've talked about, movement, sunlight, social connection, can support your health, but they are not cures for medical conditions. Think of them as tools that may help you feel stronger and more balanced day to day. Too much of a good thing can still be harmful. Exercising beyond your ability may cause injury. Overexposure to sunlight may irritate skin. Even natural drinks like caffeine or herbal tea can interfere with medications if used in excess. If you take medicines for blood sugar, blood pressure, blood thinning, or sleep, be aware that daily habits may affect how these drugs act in your body. Always check with your doctor before making significant changes. Most importantly, learn the emergency warning signs. If you experience chest pain, sudden confusion, severe dizziness, fainting, or shortness of breath, don't wait. Call 911 right away. Use the information here as a gentle guide to support your daily choices, but always pair it with the advice of your trusted healthcare provider. Your health and safety come first.